Hello, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I've seen you. It has not been a minute since I've filmed. Believe it or not, I did film an April TBR. Today we are here to choose our April TBR, a book haul. I'm a week girl, which is why I've done something. This box is about to break. I've done something, and I think 2.5, maybe close to 3 vlogs in the last month and a half that I just never posted. I've decided right now at 10:15 p.m. that we're here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do a vlog. Hello, welcome back to the channel. I don't know what we're doing here. Hello friends, happy April. I am here to start the beginning of a brand new vlog. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what it is, but everything I film, I start to edit and I'm like, this kind of sucks. Like, this is boring. I don't know what is making me feel this way. I don't know why all the content that I think of in my head, when I actually try to put it into practice, I'm like, who would watch this? And I know that's not true, that's just me being critical of myself, but I have had the hardest time just like putting anything out because I'm like, what's the point? This is not good. Like, this could have been 10 times better. I could have edited it better. I could have read better books. I could have spoken more eloquently. I could have looked better. I could have sounded better. Like, I'm so critical right now and I don't know why. But that being said, I miss filming and posting and talking to you guys so much. And I've read so many books this year that I haven't gotten to talk to you about at all. And I miss it. So I'm forcing my way back in. I'm forcing my way back into just posting, even if I don't think it's great, just posting it anyway, just putting it out, and it is what it is. And we're gonna start by doing our May TBR. That is going to be the first video, I think, that I put out coming back. For my TBR, I actually have spent some time thinking about TBRs in general. I am not good at sticking to TBRs. It is one of my biggest flaws when it comes to reading. I have zero attention span. The books that I choose to read today, typically in about a day or two, I will have zero interest in any of them. It happens every single month. I don't know why, but yet I love making TBRs. So are we gonna read what we choose? I don't know. I don't know, but we are going to choose books anyway, okay? And I have spent some time creating my very own TBR jar. I love watching people choose their TBR from prompts. I love the idea of that. I've never done it before just because, honestly, I think I was just too lazy to create one and this took work, but I did it. I finally did it. I came up with as many prompts as I could think of, and then I realized I didn't have a jar that was big enough. So this is not really necessarily meant for this. Farmhouse Rustic Kitchen Canister. It was sitting in a cabinet and it was empty and I decided to use it. So don't love this whole situation. Don't love it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't love it. Don't know if I could take it off, but I don't love it. But it fits all the prompts. There are, I think, about 125 in here. So there is enough to go around for a good little while, because a lot of the prompts like could obviously be for many different books. Some of the prompts are as specific things on the cover or specific things in the book, and other prompts are very basic, like a thriller, a new book, like very, very broad. So I probably will put some of the prompts back in here depending on, I don't know, maybe I'll wait a couple months and then put the old ones back in. I don't know. I haven't figured this out yet. I really have not planned this at all, if I'm being honest with you. I don't even know what possessed me to sit down and film this today, especially because I have to leave for work in like 30 minutes. So we are on a time crunch, okay? I think what I'm gonna do is choose 6 books. And I think that that is a safe bet. January I read 11, February I read 11, March I read like 8 or 9. It's not been consistent. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick 6 books because then that also allows me some wiggle room and some mood reading opportunities and being able to read some new releases and things that just happen to come on my radar. I don't know if you guys are like this, but there are times when I watch other people's reading blogs and random books that I really didn't even have on my radar suddenly become the only thing I want to read in that very moment. That happens to me all the time, and that's why I read such a random collection of books, because half of it's new releases and the other half is just like what pops into my head at the time. I want to be able to have opportunity to do that while also hopefully reading some, if not all, of the books that I choose from here. So I think 6 is a good number. I think what I'm going to do is at the end of the month, if I don't read all 6, my punishment is that I will pick an extra book next month. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to force myself to get rid of any of these books. I'm not going to force myself to read them next month if I didn't get to them this month, because sometimes there's a reason for that. I just wasn't interested because, like I said, my mood is fleeting, okay? So that is the general premise of our new little TBR jar. I do have a number of books on the top of my head that I would love to try and fit in here, specifically some new releases. So we'll see if I can get any of those in there. I know that there is a new Devney Perry romantasy coming out that people are raving about that I would really like to read, called Shield of Sparrow, I think. Put it here. I would very much like to read that. There is a book called The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig that I am very much looking forward to coming out in May. Ashley Flowers has a new book coming out that I have heard good things about. That might be fun to include. There's a Frida McFadden coming out called The Tenant. I probably will read that regardless because they're always like one sitting reads and popcorn thrillers, you know, they're a nice palate cleanser. There's quite a few May releases that I'm looking forward to. So hopefully I'll be able to fit some of those in here. If not, it is what it is, okay? So without further ado, let's pick our first prompt. My one thing that I don't really know how people do it is like, I feel like it's gonna take me a minute to like think of books, you know? All right, we have our first prompt. Let's see. Okay, it is a book about books. A book about books.
A book about books.
This is a very broad topic, but also not really. Like, it's kind of very specific. A book about books. This is the part where you're gonna have to bear with me while I peruse my shelves for a moment. Actually, let me quickly look at the new releases that I want to read first, just to see if anything in there catches my attention. Great Big Beautiful Life. I think that might be about books. Maybe. But I don't know. Okay, I got it. That took me far too long considering the book that I just chose came out today, and I literally just ordered it today and it's on the top of my mind. I'm going to read A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. It just came out. It is Emily Henry's newest release. I'm not gonna lie, I have a little bit of fear with this one because I have not been seeing great things thus far. Emily Henry for me is not an author that I am like obsessed with the way some of the other girlies are. I've liked a lot of her books, but I've not like obsessively loved any of them. I think she's a great writer. It's just not my personal favorite romance writing. So I'm a little bit nervous because not only is it an author that I don't always love the books, but now other people who normally do love her books are not loving this one. So it could be a total flop, but it is about two writers who are writing a book, I think. I think. I don't know. All I know is the very first line said two writers. Two writers compete for the chance to tell the larger-than-life story of a woman, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to know anymore, okay? It's about books. Right? It's about writers who write books. I think that counts. That took me 5 minutes. How do people do this? Maybe I'm making like the prompts too complicated? I don't know. Okay, book number 2. Uh-oh. Should I do both of them then? Is that cheating? The first one I've actually picked is a book set in Europe. A book set in Europe. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Can it be a fantastical world? that is reminiscent of Europe, I ask? I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. I recently saw a review of The Rose Bargain, which is a young adult romantasy set in England, which is in Europe. And I have not been able to stop thinking about it to the point where I downloaded it on my Kindle. I paid for it because it was not on Kindle Unlimited. I never do that. I paid for it because I wanted it that day. So that's what we're going to choose. The Rose Bargain is set in Europe, okay? Okay? Now, the one that fell on the ground, do we also do this one? I think we should, okay? So let's see. A book with a snake on the cover. This should be easy. I feel like a lot of romantasy has snakes on the cover, right? Aha. And there it is. Okay, is my entire TBR going to be on my Kindle? Is that what's happening? 'Cause so far, I haven't owned a single one of these books to hold up. We are going to choose House of Bane and Blood, which is the first book in a romantasy series that is supposed to be reminiscent of Peaky Blinders. Say no more. And, as you can see, it has a snake on the cover. Moving right along. Number 4. I want to really get in there. I love how I told you that some of the prompts were very general and others were very specific, and the only prompts I'm picking today are so specific. A book with an animal on the cover. Okay, my first physical book that I actually freaking own. Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. This book scares the crap out of me because I have had a very hard time getting into Stephen Graham Jones. I think he's too smart for me, is what I think. I think he is too smart for my little brain to comprehend. That being said, every time he puts out a book, I'm like, this is the one. This is going to be the one. And I'm dying to read it. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I DNF. Sometimes it sits on my shelf for 5 years. This one sounds very interesting. It might even be historical, which is frightening. It begins when a diary written in 1912 by a Lutheran pastor is discovered within a wall in 2012. What is unveiled is a slow massacre, a nearly forgotten chain of events that goes back to 217 Blackfeet dead in the snow. I am very intimidated, but I want to try. I want to try, and it has an animal. What is this TBR? Number 6. Oh, this is a fun one. Also, won't be easy, but it is fun. Have someone pick a number between 300 and 600 and find a book with that many pages. So we need to text a friend, phone a friend. Who will answer the fastest? Probably my cousin, partner in crime. Hi. Can you pick a number between 300 and 600? Okay, so we just have to see how long she takes to answer. Do we think she will answer quickly? I don't know. Sometimes she does. Today she is in the office, so we don't know. Also, how am I going to figure out all the page numbers of the books on my TBR without opening every single one? Oh, we got an answer. We got an answer, or we're getting an answer. She's live.
She's alive!
Oh my God, I'm excited. Okay. 412. All right, 412. How do I go about this? I'm going to start going through book by book. I'll be right back. This is 406. Okay, what we have just learned is that I have not, hello. What I've just learned is that I have no idea what a 400-page book looks like. No idea. I'm embarrassed to say that I opened probably more than half of my TBR before I found something that was even remotely close, okay? But we did find one. It's not 412, but it is 411 pages. And if I read the acknowledgments, which I always do, technically that's one more page, I think it counts, okay? I know nothing about this book. I bought it because it was pretty and it was cheap at Target, okay? It is a romantasy. It is called The Stars Are Dying. It had sprayed edges. It was pretty. Oh, well, okay. All right. I don't think I ever opened it fully. I don't know what this is about. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know if anyone else has read it, if anyone else has liked it. But she's pretty and she's romantasy. And I just read recently Heavenly Bodies, which was a celestial romantasy that I loved. So I assume this has to do with celestial things based on the title. So maybe I'll love this too. Who knows? So that is the TBR. We have a book that is 412 pages, a book with an animal on the cover, a book set in England, a book with a snake on the cover, a book about books, what am I missing? Oh my god, did I only pick 5? I only picked 5. That's fucking hysterical. Okay, I need to pick another one. Next prompt. This is gonna be easy because I think I only have 2 books that fit this prompt. Book with football. One moment. The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I have both this and the second book in this series, interconnected standalone series, which is called the Playbook, I think, or the Rule Book. But this is the first one. This is the Cheat Sheet. It came out a while ago and I've been meaning to read it for a while. I like Sarah Adams. It's cute and I love football, so pretty much my only option for a football book. So that is it. A book with football. A book that's 412-ish pages. A book with an animal on the cover. A book with a snake on the cover. A book set in Europe, England, Europe. And a book about books. That is the TBR for the month of May. This is not how I saw this going. These are not the books that I foresaw wanting to include in my TBR, but that is what TBR jars do. And here we are. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what's on your TBR. If there's any new releases you're excited about that I should be focusing on, please let me know, specifically romantasy, because that's pretty much my entire personality now. And I will see you in another video very soon. Hopefully. Bye. What idiot came up with these prompts? I will never ever figure out how to focus. I'm like reading the synopsis of every book I have. Wow, this is a hard one. Where is my copy of Bunny? Did I give it to someone? I don't know where Bunny is. This is not going well. Let's see what the next one is. Hopefully this one is easier to come up with. not gonna be easier. A book with an animal on the cover. Does a dragon count? Asking for a friend? No. No, not really. No, not feeling it. What moron came up with this shit? Like, I meet authors all the time. I don't. Okay, we're gonna pick another one. I don't really care. I'm cheating, okay? Because I don't think I have a book with a bunny on the cover, including Bunny. I don't know where it is. So specific. The next, did the lighting just change? There's also some over here. Who wrote these prompts? Like, literally, I don't have books for any of them. Well, this was a big mistake.